Welcome back. This is a video for Math 2-3. This is part 2 of solving quadratics when there is no c term in the equation. Let's say you are given a quadratic equation, x squared minus 7x equals 0. It's important that this equals 0. And we want to solve this for the two values of x. We need it to be in standard quadratic form, which it already is. Standard quadratic form is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So all the terms are over here on one side, and it equals 0 on the other side. Our equation is x squared minus 7x equals 0, and we're going to try to solve this for our two values of x. We do not want to bring this one to the other side, like we did in part 1, when there was no b term, because now there's no c term. Technically, there is a plus 0 in there, but we're not really going to use that. What we're going to do is we are going to take what this part of the equation, this term, has in common with this part of the term. And what I see is they both are multiplied by x, because x squared is really x times x, and this is really negative 7 times x. In order to factor that out, they both have this times x in common. So we're going to undistribute that. We're going to take it to the outside. We're going to make a set of parentheses, and we're going to figure out what's left inside the parentheses. X divided by x is x, and negative 7x divided by x is just negative 7. If you were to distribute this back in here, like this, with multiplication, you'd be back where we started. But what we want is this. It's called the factored form. We have kind of two mini equations here. One of them is x, and the other one is x minus 7. What we're looking for are two different values of x that when I put them in here into the equation, I put one value of x into both of these, and it'll equal 0. But then there's a different value of x that I can put into both of these that equals 0. Remember, this x and this x always have to be the same in one kind of round of the equation. But there are two different possibilities for those rounds. So here it is broken up into those two mini equations. This one here is pretty easy. We can already see that x equals 0. There's no more work to be done. In fact, in the case where there is no c term, no constant, there will always be x equals 0 as one of the two answers. So that makes it a little easier even. This one over here, hopefully the answer jumps right out at you. What would x be to make this equal to 0? But sometimes it's more complicated than that. So the steps would be to get rid of the constant on this side by adding it to both sides, leaving us with x equals positive 7. So there's our two answers. One of them is x equals 0. One of them is x equals positive 7. If the parabola would look like this. Again, please be aware that there are two different x-intercepts. The x-intercepts are the solutions. In the case when there's no when there's no c term, no constant, one of the x's will always be 0. And then you just go find the other one. Won't always be a whole number, but this time it worked out just fine. So the two values are x equals 0 and x equals 7. Remember to always look for two answers. So next in part 3, when it has all three terms, we'll learn how to do that.